back, I want to make sure I zero in this, my initial question, which was, so if you had to, estimate what those startup costs for a production company that wants to produce for networks and does not have a ton of credits, ton of experience, how much money should they be prepared to invest in producing non-scripted content as a small prod?
I mean, I tell people all the time, you don't want to go out and, the idea isn't to compete with the bigger production companies. The idea is to make sure that whatever concept you have, that somebody can see it. Like you not only can you see what it looks like as a series, but the beats. So if you're doing like a follow doc, which is one of these reality shows where you follow around like an ensemble cast, it's like you don't necessarily have to shoot like a whole pilot or something. What you need for a network to be interested, or a production company, if you're going to bring it to a big production company, is you need to know who your cast is. And you can do that through Skype. Like there's different ways to like not spend money.
Got it.
So you can do like a Skype. You can do a Skype interview. If you have to, you can shoot bare bones, like a scene. Because really, you're not looking for this beautiful piece of work. What you're looking for is there a there, right?
In this term, the term what Sean is describing is oftentimes people refer to as a sizzle reel, a casting reel, something to give people a sense of what the show is about, who's your cast in the world, right? Yeah. So
like everything, people talk on paper. The one thing that you get when people come in and pitch, and I'm kind of mixing my hats a little, but like when people come in and pitch to you, it's like, it's this amazing world, right? This is like, I want to, it's construction, and I found this tough female boss who owns her own shit and swears like a sailor. She's interesting, and this is actually something I did a sizzle on, and you're like, this sounds great. It really sounds great. I cannot wait to meet the person. Then you have it like an in person, and it's great. And then you're like, okay, let's see what it looks like on camera. As soon as you put the person on camera, all of a sudden they filter their words. They want to correct what they say. Everything changes, and all of a sudden you're like, well, that's not what I was pitched. This isn't even kind of close to it. And so you have to get, you still, when you're doing those kind of shows, you have to get tape, because you have to see how that person, how that person looks on camera and how they interact with the camera. There's some people who, the cameras, they're quiet, and then the camera goes on and a whole new person comes out.
But how much are they expecting to spend for this tape? How much does the production company expect to spend?
On
the low end.
On the low end, it's like be a couple grand.
Okay, so $2,000 on the high end, maybe $5,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and if they were going to produce, I wouldn't do if you're pitching something, you should really just do a cast. You should have your casting, which is, like I said, you can easily do through your Skype. The Skype interviews.
And then I would do a scene just to show the interactions, because people want to know how they interact, and it doesn't necessarily come through on paper.